Welcome to Perfect Level. Back on the creek again. The water is still high. We have extreme weather on the way. It's very windy and very cloudy today with a high of 80 degrees. Let's go. You're slobbering everywhere. Are you friendly? Are you friendly? Hiya, big bear guy. Oh man, you're standing on my foot. You're heavy. Well, see you later. Ugh, he slobbered all over me. Gross, dog. You better be careful there, buddy. That water's moving fast. Be careful. I think he's done that before. The water quality isn't bad today. I wouldn't say that it was clear, but it's not bad considering how much rain we've had in the last few days and actually the last several weeks. I'm starting off with the bandito bug, a chartreuse spinnerbait, and also the coal shad by Berkeley. I have not caught a fish on it yet, and today might be the day. The water is moving extremely fast. It's still high. Fish on. Fighting like a lion. Giant rock bass. That is a giant rock bass. Oh my gosh. That is a giant. Wow. I guess I should measure this guy because it looks like a master angler. Wow, what a rock bass. That is a huge one. A huge rock bass. I'm gonna measure it on my rod and then see how much, because I think he's only like 11 inches, but I think they only have to be 10. I'm gonna let him go. Thank you, sir. That was a great fight for a Rocky. Have a good one. Giant rock bass. Wow. Cool. For a rock bass, he fought really hard. Oh, there's another one. Fish on. Is it another Rocky? It is. It's another rock bass. A little bit smaller. I don't think they're on spawn. I think rock bass are one of the last ones to go on spawn. So they're not bedding yet. I think they're just active today. Mr. Rock Bass. I smoke the rocks. Little guy. They're feisty, they're fired up. For two rock bass to be in this little area right here pretty much is a dead giveaway that there's no other fish but rock bass. A larger smallmouth would push those fish out. He won't tolerate any other fish being in his area. Or at least that's my theory. I could be wrong about that. There's another one. Are you kidding me? Wow, is this a rock bass too? It is. There's rock bass stacked up in there. Mr. Rocky, come here, sir. Sheesh. Let go, bud. Mr. Rock Bass. 3 casts, 3 rock bass. That's something. All on the, I think this is a watermelon. It's a bandito bug, but I'm confused about the color. Pure passion? Maybe that's what it's called. Something passion? I don't know. I'm paranoid about my kayak floating away. I kind of left it in a precarious situation there. It's so early, and with the weather patterns we've been having, I don't think any fish are spawning yet. Now, some of the bait fish, some of the minnows and stuff, they may be spawning, but I don't think so. There shouldn't be any fish on bed. Well, some of the clouds have actually pushed away. I think the wind pushed them out. So it's not nearly as cloudy as it was about an hour ago. It was extremely cloudy. I just saw some kind of fish jump there. I don't know what that was. It seemed to have some size behind it. There's that wind. We're supposed to have 15-mile-an-hour winds today with 20-mile-an-hour gusts. And as it gets dark, I think that's going to increase tremendously. We'll probably see some damaging wind. Some really awesome purple flowers. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. Measured my rod from the first rock bass that I caught, and it was dead on 11 inches. So that would be another master angler for 2024. I'm already starting to lose count, which that's my first rock bass master angler. Wow, these rocks are so slick. I'm trying to focus really hard on not falling down. The water is really cold. I was out at Shanty Hollow yesterday, and the water temperature there was 56 degrees. I would say this creek water is roughly the same, if not colder. So we'll say 55 degrees. The sun is out right now, so that helps tremendously. There's a particular fisherman that didn't come today, and he said if I catch rock bass to let him know. My first 3 fish, my first 3 real casts, 3 rock bass. I don't know what that means. It definitely means something. He probably knows when they spawn, so he's trying to gauge, you know, water temperature, what the fish are doing, all that kind of stuff. Uh-oh. Come out of there. Huh. That just reminded me that in one of the trees right up here, about 2 months ago, I lost one of my favorite chatterbaits. But the water's lower now than it was then, so there's pretty much no chance of me getting it back. If I could skip a lure, I'd be able to cast under this tree, and I guarantee you there's fish under there. But I'm not very good at skipping. I've tried it a few times. It makes a mess. The bug is the drug. Oh yeah, I was gonna look to see what color that was. Yes, pure passion. But on the tag it says green pumpkin. So what color is it? Bandito bug, green pumpkin, or pure passion? Is that some kind of mess up? Is it the wrong tag or the wrong package? I don't know. I call that watermelon anyway. So Guggen has a tournament coming up in the month of April. And the way you register for the tournament is to buy any Guggen bait, and you take a picture of your receipt and send it in, and that registers you for the tournament. I am considering doing it, but it seems like there's millions of people already involved. And you think about, if you go fishing in one day, all the fish that you catch, if you put every fish on a board, that's going to take a huge amount of time. And I just don't know if I can invest that kind of time to measure every fish. I mean, I guess I can, or maybe there are stipulations that I'm not aware of. Maybe they can only be keepers, and maybe they could. Oh, there was a follower right there. That was a smallmouth. Okay, I'm gonna shut up and just fish. Shut up and fish. I wonder why he didn't bite it. He just followed it. This is a bad spot to be chilling. I gotta go. Wow, it is getting really warm. Today is going to be the warmest day we've had for 2024. When I left home, it was saying we would hit 80. But I kind of questioned that because when I woke up, it was like 55 degrees. No frost last night. But with the storm coming in, there's a huge cold front right behind the storm. So that'll wreck the fishing for the next week. And we're supposed to have like 4 days of heavy rain. In my area, there is a tournament coming up in October, which is a long time from now. It's part of the Kayak Adventure series. Drew Gregory is the one putting that on. I'm considering entering that tournament, which will be the very first kayaking tournament I've ever fished in. Which, you know, October is a long time from now, so it depends what happens between now and October. Considering I follow and watch a lot of those fishermen, I mean, there's no chance of me winning. I mean, those guys are real fishermen. But I would still like to try. Being on my home turf, it does give me an advantage. I know where a lot of big fish are right now, but that doesn't mean they'll bite. And to be honest, getting into those areas is very situational. So the water has to be just right. If it's too low, you can't make it. If it's too high, you can't make it. If the water's not just right, the fish aren't gonna bite. But as far as creek and river fish, I know where some big ones are at. And just like today, one of the biggest reasons that I didn't go to the spot where I know the big smallmouth are at is because the water's too high. And I'll never be able to make it that far. I mean, there's a reason why those fish have had opportunities to grow big, is nobody else can get in there either. You have to hit it just right. And the water level has to be just right. And you can't make it. And that's pushing upstream, but even if you're coming downstream, you want the water to be kind of low, which makes for a very long day. You're looking at probably an 8-hour day. And that's only if you manage your time properly. Just like right now, I've already been fighting the water a lot. I haven't gone very far and I need to stop, because that's why my elbows and my wrists have been hurting so much lately, is I'm just constantly making the cast priority over boat position, and I need to stop doing that. I need to stop doing that if I want my elbows and my shoulders and my wrists to make it through the next couple of years. I hope to continue on fishing for the next several years, but I just don't know if I'll be able to or not. It's really starting to take a toll on my body. It's interesting how creek fishing takes a lot. It takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of stamina, a lot of strength. You gotta have good balance, you gotta know what you're doing. I will say, so far this year, the water has turned out a lot better than the last 2 to 3 years. So I'll say 3 years, especially last year, which, you know, a lot can change in the next month or two. But last year, the water was so low, even by this point. I've been watching a lot of kayak fishermen in Virginia, and it seems that their water is a little bit better this year too. I know there's a couple of larger rivers there that pretty much went dry before summer even hit. So that's good for those guys too. I'd like to go and do some fishing in Virginia. There's some really kicking creeks. Wow, it is so warm already. All the trees have blooms. Nearly all the trees. The anticipation of spring. Check out all these bones. There's like bones everywhere. Now the coal shad. It's a big bait. Let's kind of see what's going to happen here. It may scare the fish away. Not for certain. See if the camera can pick those birds up. Those are water birds in their nest. I just saw a very strange creature on the embankment running up into a hole. I don't know what that was. A chupacabra? I don't know what it was. It wasn't a raccoon and it wasn't a coyote. It was some kind of furry creature. I don't know what that was. We'll see if it comes back out. I wonder if that was a bobcat. It was really dark gray. Could have been a coyote puppy, but if it was mutated. Very strange. I don't know what animal that was. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. It ran up into that crack. Now I assume there's a hole there. I wished it would come back out, whatever it was. I'd say the size of like a medium-sized dog. I mean, there's definitely a hole there. I don't know what that was. I'm nearly positive that it was not a coyote. Huh. Interesting. Kind of a dangerous move, but I'm gonna go with it. Got a nibble there. A little bit of a nibble. Might have been another spotted bass. One more shot. Let's get him. There's a fish. First smallmouth I've seen today. And I'm about to get sucked into a rapid. See if I can get over here. I didn't know if I would catch a smallmouth today or not. Kind of seemed like I wasn't going to. Like I got one. I might need the pliers on this guy. Smallmouth I caught today. Well, so far, but the day's almost over. A couple spotted bass and a bunch of rock bass, but the only smallmouth. Nice to see you, sir. Let's go. Let's go, let's go. There's a fish. He's coming right at me. Another rock bass. Goodness. I've caught, oh, I lost him. I've caught so many rock bass today. It had to be breaking records for how many rock bass I've caught. I've kind of noticed that a lot of the fish have the virus here. Those black spots, which I've watched a bunch of videos on that now, and apparently it's some kind of virus. But it seems like a lot of the fish have it. Another rock bass. Gosh, I've caught so many rock bass today. And that's a good one too. It's a big one for Rocky. Oh my gosh, stop, dude. All right, I'm gonna need my pliers on. Rock bass. I think that's like number 20 for today. The Rocky. I smoked the rocks. Shablow.